Former UFC fighter Vince Morales has had a unlikely path back to relevancy in mixed martial arts. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the City Life Project YouTube channel for yet another MMA news and reaction video. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe, and let's get right into it. After being cut from the UFC in 2022 on a 2-fight losing streak, suffering losses to Miles Johns and Jonathan Martinez, Vince Morales, the talented MMA striker and boxer, who's also a Syndicate MMA product, got right back to work, defeating his next two opponents in the year of 2023, both of them via second round finish, 1 KO TKO, and 1 submission. Both of these wins were on the regional scene, one against a pretty good opponent, one against a can. In late 2023, RIZIN star Kai Asakura was preparing for his title fight against former Bellator fighter Juan Archuleta. Kai Asakura had come to Vegas for this particular camp and was looking to train at Syndicate. Kai Asakura has a record of 21-4 as a pro in mixed martial arts. He has 13 KO TKOs, 3 submissions, and 5 decisions. When he's not in the United States, he now trains out of his new gym that he started with his brother Mikuru Asakura. Japan top team, 13-3 in RIZIN, 5-0 in rings, and also went 2-0 in Road FC. Kai Asakura has only lost to the best of the best as well, to the likes of Ogi Kubo and Horiguchi, and also current UFC fighter Manel Kape.
All your teammates is a bunch of
Back to Syndicate. Morales and Kai hit it off and actually became training partners, and Morales became Kai Asakura's lead sparring partner. Fast forward to New Year's Eve, 23,000+ fans at the Saitama Super Arena, and both Kai Asakura and Vince Morales are fighting on that card. Morales competing in what is arguably the mecca of MMA. His connection to Kai opened up even more opportunities than I think he ever could have imagined upon his exit from the UFC. Now, leading up to his title fight against Juan Archuleta, like I said, Kai Asakura was preparing for that massive fight in the United States. He spent more time in the United States and training at Syndicate than he did at his brand new gym that he opened up, Japan top team, like I mentioned earlier, with his brother Mikuru. Having said that, a few weeks before the big New Year's Eve show, he wrapped up his training in the United States and was going to finish up his camp in Japan. He wanted to get most of his work done in the United States so he could train with guys who not only had fought Juan Archuleta before, know his game, but also with some North American wrestlers and grapplers. And even when he went back to Japan, he brought 2 of his Syndicate partners with him. One, his wrestling coach, Billy Bijlow II, and none other than Vince Morales, his now main training partner and sparring partner. Juan Archuleta is no joke. Though he's getting up there in age, though he's a veteran of the game, he's beaten Patchy Mix, something that barely anybody else has been able to accomplish. And he's still getting wins against top competition. Now, I know in hindsight now, Kai made relatively easy work of Juan Archuleta, but we all know everything that surrounded that fight, with Juan Archuleta being sick, not being able to make weight on weigh-in day, and only being able to compete upon losing the title on the scale by making weight an hour before that fight was going to occur on the New Year's Eve card, which he did. He got into the ring and then got kneed in the fucking gut. Rewind back to Morales landing in Japan and helping Kai Asakura out in the final weeks of his camp. The point of his trip quickly shifted. While still being paid by Asakura to help him train in this particular camp, additional lucrative opportunities were arising. One of which being an offer to fight in one of the upcoming Deep MMA shows. Deep, another regional and very good and popular MMA promotion in Japan, is the only other promotion out there other than RIZIN that employs the superior rule set. Vince Morales got close to actually fighting for Deep while he was in Japan. However, Kai Asakura, when learning about this, asked Vince Morales, why don't we just get you on a RIZIN card? Why don't we just get you on the card that I am fighting on, RIZIN 45, the New Year's Eve card? This promotion, not to mention fighting on New Year's Eve, where even casual MMA fans tune into these shows. Hell, even the hardcores who don't necessarily follow every single RIZIN show make sure that they're watching this one. Fans of this sport know historically how important this show is to not only just RIZIN, Dream, Pride FC, but Inoki Bombaye that still puts on shows. Hell, even old K1 New Year's shows as well. This was the biggest promotion and opportunity for Vince Morales since fighting in the UFC. The stages in which he fought on in his last two promotions upon exiting the UFC weren't even close to the Saitama Super Arena on New Year's Eve. Morales was quoted saying, after Kai offered this, duh, are you kidding me? RIZIN 45, their most recent New Year's Eve show, saw larger attendance than any UFC card in 2023. And Vince Morales put on an excellent performance, an absolute striking clinic, and gained the respect of a lot of the Japanese fans. And his opponent was no slouch. Yuki Motoya was 34-11 when Vince Morales fought him. 34 years of age. He's fought 17 times in the promotion and went 25-4 in deep. Upon losing to Vince Morales as well, he got right back on the horse and got a second round rear naked choke at deep 119 Impact. And Yuki Motoya has only lost to the top guys in RIZIN other than Vince Morales, Kai Asakura, Takizawa, and Naoki Inoue. Between the losses to Takizawa and Kai Asakura, he was on a 5-fight win streak. Vince Morales was quoted saying, it was a little nervous at first because he's got so much RIZIN tenure. I know if Kai's fighting him, he's up there. So I wanted to respect that and treat it accordingly. It was such a great fight, ladies and gentlemen. He schooled him in the boxing in front of Motoya's home crowd in Japan, forced the fight on the feet, defended the ground game well, utilized good takedown defense. But for the most part, Motoya met him in the center of the ring and they were able to scrap it out. It was more of a boxing affair than it was a full mixed martial arts bout. But at the same time, Morales did a great job getting the fight back up to the feet, hell, keeping the fight on the feet where he absolutely dominated. Didn't get the finish, but put on an absolute striking clinic to get the unanimous decision. And I mentioned it before. The Japanese fans, even if you beat one of their own, even if you beat someone in Japan, they will respect you. They will fall in love with you. I mean, look at Rampage Jackson, right? Morales was quoted saying, though, after his win, I've been getting so many messages in Japanese, and I gotta hit translate every single time. It's really bizarre. It's so cool, though, at the same time. So how does he get back to the UFC? He had 3 wins in 2023, 2 finishes and 1 decision, seemingly polished up everything he needed to while struggling a little bit in his UFC run. He's 3-5 in the UFC, 2-0 in Bellator, 1-0 in RIZIN, and 0-1 on Contender Series. Upon departing from the UFC, he beat a 13-10 guy at ex-MMA, so not the best opponent, but he did employ a Darce choke in the second round. He did finish him. And I will say this, if you're going to crush cans on the regional scene, really crush them. I'm not going to be overly critical if you knock them out and submit them. I will be critical even of a win if it goes to a split decision or a decision. That name came on his desk. He took the fight. He beat him in relatively easy fashion. He did go up against an 11-5 guy who he knocked out in the second round in his next fight. A lot better of an opponent. And then Yuki Motoya, who is a no slouch in RIZIN, in Japan on relatively short notice. Even though his relationship is good with Saki Kibara-san, RIZIN, and shoot, other promoters like those of Deep in Japan now, Vince Morales is back in North America. His next fight is this week at Tuff-N-Uff 137, where he's headlining the card. Main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, against Luis Guerrero. Now, Luis Guerrero is a solid opponent. 11-4 as a pro, has only finished his opponents in his wins. 9 KO TKO, 2 submissions, 0 decisions. He's 5-2 in LUX and went 3-1 in JFL MMA. His last loss was to a 9-1 prospect as well, and before then was on a 6-fight win streak, 5 of those MMA, 1 of those Muay Thai, and again, knocking out every single one. Yeah, he's 35 years of age, but if Vince Morales can finish Luis Guerrero or beat him up dominantly, he could get back on the UFC's radar. That's 4 straight wins upon exiting the UFC. 2 of those being finishes, 1 of those being a great decision. And if he looks good in this next one, hell, he might be on their radar for a short notice pickup or just a straight up re-signing altogether. And if ultimately it doesn't work out with the UFC, this relationship now with RIZIN is huge. I'm so excited for this card, ladies and gentlemen. Tuff-N-Uff 137, Friday, May 24th, 2024. We will be hosting a fight companion for this one. We will be live doing play-by-play commentary, reaction, and most importantly, live interaction with all you amazing folks in the live chat. So like and subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss an upload, so you never miss a live stream, and we will see you there. Awesome co-main and even better main event with Vince Morales. One more win and he could be back in the UFC, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for this MMA news and reaction video. If you like these type of videos, like and subscribe. Comment on this video if you want to see more of these, and we'll see you on the next one.